There we go now. How we doing tonight, everybody? All right. Noodle Nurse, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Cheers, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee. Come hang out. We got some amazing antiquarian books tonight. Some amazing vintage paperbacks tonight. I'm going to start it up small with smaller books because I got some monster books that weigh like 20 pounds each here. But we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna ease into that, my friends. We're gonna ease into that. This is the classic All Quiet on the Western Front. It's not all's quiet. It's all quiet. All right? Get it right. All Quiet on the Western Front. Eric Maria Remarque. This copy is a 1930 reprint. So, copyright was 1928. First published in Germany in January of 29. So, pretty early copy still, yeah? And no dust jacket. The boards are fine. It flips really nice. Oh, wait a minute. We got a bookmark. Hold on. We got a bookmark. What is it? Just numbers. Ooh, hold on. The Met Bar Stereophonic Music Air Conditioned. P.O. Box 99677. Southeast corner. Oh, a matchbook cover. Oh, was somebody giving away their phone number? Interesting. All right. Little staining on the first 10 pages here. On that right hand side. Kind of comes here, but still nice. Very nice. Let's get this one going, my friends. $3. Up and running. I think we can get rid of that Met Bar matchbook cover. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome. My name is Chris. This is the Cool and Common Stream. It is my Wednesday night book show. This Wednesday night, we've got some really nice antiquarian books, some vintage books. I've got fiction, I've got nonfiction, I've got historical stuff. I got some stuff that I what did I do? 53 on that? Not 53. $3. Let's try that again, Chris. I got some fiction, some historical stuff that is outrageous. $3 10 seconds on All Quiet on the Western Front, 1930 copy. Up and running. Down the last few seconds. All right, let's see what's up next. I've got some vintage paperbacks here too, but I want to kind of get through some of the more interesting books here. Casey, welcome. Hold a Dollar, what's up? A Study of Poetry by Cannell. All right, looks like we got some handwritten notes here. Doesn't look like it was a library book, though. No, somebody was studying, though, obviously. Very cool. Copyright 1913 by F.M. Connell. Printed in the USA. Little bit of a stress there on the binding, but it is holding. It's fine. Let's see. We'll test it. We'll give it the stress test. There you go. All right. Book on and about poetry. $3 start. 10 seconds. Up and running. Thanks for stopping in. I do appreciate it. I do a book show every Wednesday night here on Whatnot. Every week it is a different topic. So this week it's Antiquarian. Next week it could, well, I forget what next week is, but I do mystery books, murder mystery, suspense, sci-fi, horror, fantasy, antiquarian, adult topics, all kinds of fun stuff. Hope you'll join me sometime. All right, this one I did a little research on. Ave Roma Immortalis. Check out the gilding on that. Francis Marion Crawford. This book is from 1898, Volume 1. Run the Western Front. Yo, Ed, how you doing, buddy? For you? Of course I would. Let me do that. Let me finish talking about this here. Ave Roma Immortalis, 1898. Look at the book plates in here. So this is basically a tour of Italy in the 1800s. Crazy good. It's got, I mean, man. Still got the plates, the wall of Romulus. I mean, it's just insane. I get that All Quiet on the Western Front going for you. Copyright 1898. The Making of the City, the Empire, the City of Augustus, the Middle Age, the 14 regions. Ave Roma. All about Rome. All right. Do 5 on that one. That's at least a $10 book. But there's lots of cool here stuff tonight, Ed. Thank you. The Pambin, drawing first blood tonight. Thank you so much. Get on that Western Front for you. All right, so here's that All Quiet on the Western Front. All right, do the same here. I don't know. Did you get a chance to take a look at this one when I first started up? There's a little bit of staining on some of the pages on the right margin, especially these first like 8 or 9 pages. But it is an early copy, no dust jacket, obviously. And was originally published in Germany in January of 29. This is a February 1930 copy. All right, real nice. What did I do? 3, 5? I don't remember. Let's run it. Up and running. Nice copy. Marshmallow, hello. Ed, congratulations. Thank you again. I do have, if you or anyone else might be interested, the Crest Book paperback edition of All Quiet on the Western Front. Great graphic. Spine in remarkably good condition. Worldwide bestseller. Looks like a little stress here. Little tear here. Fawcett World Library. Spine feels a little brittle. It does flip. And this is a 1959 second Crest printing. Right there for you. If you missed the first one, grab the second one. One time at $3. $3. All Quiet on the Western Front, 1959 paperback copy. Foy, what's up? Stallings, welcome. All right, next. Okay, here's an interesting. Bolton and Paul Limited, 1898 catalog. Classic reprint series. So this is a reprint. Okay, it is not the original 1898 catalog. It is a reprint of the 1898 catalog. All the ads as they originally appeared. Very cool stuff. Horticultural buildings, all kinds of crazy stuff in here. There you go. Printed in Canada, 1998. 1998 Canadian copy. Nice and clean, heavy book. High quality paper. This one's a heavy one. Got to be careful with the shipping these days. Whatnot is being very careful with their shipping now. So let me fix that. $3. Ah, didn't mean to do 30 seconds. We'll fix that. We'll crank that back down to 10. On the next go round. Last 10 seconds. Reprint of Bolton and Paul Limited 1898 catalog. All right. Mrs. Bryant, how we doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Doing a little vintage and antiquarian show tonight. Let's hit this one up. Peep the shop. Oh yeah, we got books in the shop. Everything I'm going to show here is not in the shop. So I got a ton of stuff. I got a ton of stuff right over here. Oop, hold on. I got all this stuff. I got all that stuff. This stuff is insane. And there's a box of fun stuff over there as well. So we got some cool stuff here tonight, in addition to everything that's in the shop. So if you want me to run anything from the shop, feel free to just let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to grab it for you. All right, up next, The Silver Horde by Rex Beach. Still a nice clean graphic on the front. John Howard Jr., El Paso, Texas, September 29th, 1916. Does have some illustrations through it. I'm just kind of flipping fast. Rex Beach. Geez, I can't read that. 1909. I think that's 1909. Let's see. Let's practice here. Yeah, 1909. Okay. 1909 copy. The Silver Horde. Rex Beach. Drop the weight back down again. Change that time. Let's go. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good week. Let's do that one more time. $3. There you go, Ed. Right on, brother. Thank you for the bid. Much appreciated. All right. That's 3. You should be in the free shipping zone. I shouldn't say free shipping. I should say no more charges for shipping zone. Here's one with a dust jacket. Check this out. Unto a Good Land. Simon & Schuster. Nice and clean. Translated from Swedish by Gustav Lannestock. Copyright 1954. Looks like a first. In June 1850, on Midsummer Eve, the brig Charlotte reached the port of New York carrying 70 immigrants from Sweden. A long trip still lay ahead, and the travel-weary immigrants set off in the hot American summer, up the Hudson, across Lake Erie, west to the Mississippi, on into Minnesota. Minnesota! The first winter was hard, but at last spring came, and the new Americans began to plow the good earth. There you go. Story of Swedes coming to America. Figures they would end up in Minnesota, right? Predisposed to the cold weather, right? $3 start, 10 seconds. Up and running. Lynn, right? Exactly. Katie, good to see you. User, what's up? Got another classic here for you. Richard the Lionheart. John Gillingham. Dust jacket, little tear up here, little tear up top. Looks in nice shape. There's John. Back looks nice. Yeah, other than that little tear on the front. Anything else here? Ooh, we got photos. We got photos. Very nice. All right, 1978 copy. Okay, more of a historical reference for Richard the Lionheart. I'll start that up. $3. 10 seconds. Up and running. Huntress, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I do appreciate it. My name is Chris. It's the Cool and Common Stream. This is my Wednesday night book show. Every week it's a different topic. And this week, vintage and antiquarian. All right, here we go. Here we go now. If you know, you know. White Witch Doctor. Novel by Louise Stinitorf. Look at, that's pretty clean. That's pretty clean front cover. All right. A little stress here on the top. Miss Stinitorf grew up on an Indiana farm, one of 9 children. Married, she entered Earlham College at 21, finished the course in 3.5 years, kept house, and studied music and dramatic arts in the meantime. After her graduation, she worked for a Quaker mission board in Indiana and later was sent to Ram Allah, Palestine, as an education missionary. As a child, she traveled to Africa with her father and spent her vacations there. Returning from abroad, she worked for the American Friends Service Committee and took additional study in English literature at Temple University and Bryn Mawr Graduate School. Slacker. But what did she do with her life, really? Pages are nice and white. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Let me get a year for you. I don't see one. Book club edition, though. It's got to be 50s. All right, let's just run it. Enough yapping about it. Run this one at the lighter weight. And 10 seconds. Do 5 on this one. It's in real nice shape. Ed's in on that one. Thank you, Ed. Last 2 seconds. There we go. Now we're talking. Very nice. All right, let's run some. All right, I got a row of. Yona, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. I do appreciate it. I got a run here of vintage paperbacks. Let's run through these, and then we can hit some more of the antiquarian stuff. All right. If there's anything in the store you see you want me to run, just let me know. All right. Upton Sinclair's World's End Permabook, the completest and most fruitful picture of that period that has been done or is likely to be done. H.G. Wells. Very interesting. H.G. Wells with the commentary. H.G. Wells did write a lot of history. James and Esther Emery, Erie Ave, Philly, January 28th, 1966. I guess that was a thing back then. People just kind of wrote their names and addresses and everything. This is the Permabook First Edition, April 1960. Upton Sinclair, World's End. Original sticker still on it. Started up at 3. 10 seconds. Off we go. A Storyteller's Home. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. All right. We got the Sinclair there. How about next? Oh my. Oh my. The Black Rose. Oh my. Thomas B. Costain, author of The Silver Chalice, The Darkness and the Dawn, and others. Uh-oh, can I read this? They were lying side by side. Then Walter drew her still closer until he could feel her heart beating wildly. How weak I am, Mary Ann whispered. I talk of learning to be like the ladies of your country, and then I let you hold me like this when I know what you love. It was certainly true. Walter did love her, but she was in England, thousands of miles away. All right, and then it goes on from there. Let your imaginations run wild. Another Permabook edition, The Black Rose, first printing, June 1961. First Permabook printing. Original story from 1945. It is a little off square, but still nice. Those Permabooks, man, they last. They knew what they were doing back then. Started up, $3, 10 seconds. Up and running. Kaylee, hello. All right. Put that on the paperback side there. $1944, U.S. Navy. Not for sale. Survival on Land and Sea. Prepared for the United States Navy by the Ethnographic Board and the staff of the Smithsonian Institute. Publications Branch, Office of Naval Intelligence, U.S. Navy, 1944. All right. So this is out west. All right. So these are kind of interesting. I've seen these before. Here's the table of contents. Men Against the Sea, Abandoning Ship, Procedures in a Rescue Craft, How to Drink Water at Sea, Food at Sea, Fishing, Make Your Own Fishing Kit, Sharks. This is how to survive. This is like a survival book. If something goes sideways, landfall and island survival. Tropical forests, how to get water. This is like Naked and Afraid instruction book. Food in the tropics, what you can eat, what you can't eat. The Arctic, if you're down there, what do? How do you make a fire? There you go. Survival on Land and Sea. 1944, so you can imagine This was probably handed to everybody in that combat area. $3 start, 10 seconds. $10, just enough time for me to grab a sip of coffee between every bid. There you go, Ed. Nice. Ed's already up to silver. Thank you. Next, a little vintage Louis L'Amour for Westerns. For some reason, I've been coming across a lot of Westerns lately. Magazines. I'm not a big Western guy or collector or anything, but this one's in real nice shape. A little light tanning on the back. Flips fine. Off-white pages. A little spotty on the front inside here. Showdown at Yellow Butte. Louis L'Amour. Copyright 1953. This is a November 1974 copy. Real nice though. Spine is in nice shape. Nice and square. Nice. Showdown at Yellow Butte. Get that next one going. For $3, 10 seconds. Let's do it. I'm trying to think what other Western things I got. I did have in a lot of comic books I found, there were a bunch of like 1920s Western magazine novelettes, kind of, which was kind of interesting. Probably bringing those to my ephemera show. All right, next. Noel Coward, Pomp and Circumstance. His wonderfully wicked tale of an uninhibited island paradise in the South Pacific. A story bounded on the north by James Michener and on the south by Somerset Maugham. Nice little wraparound cover there. Check that out. Off-white pages. Some light tanning. First Dell printing, May 1962. Again, with the really nice wraparound cover. So, sounds a little like Mischief and Mayhem in the South Pacific. No, sorry. Didn't mean to do 53. I'm changing the 5 to a 3. Every once in a while, my finger slips. Or the phone just doesn't pick it up. All right, it was only 10 seconds. Here we go. $3. The classic Noel Coward. All right. A little bit of a scandalous one coming up here. Back in the day, Hugo Paul, plantation breed. They were brothers, one born a slave, the other born master. Now the slave must become master or die. Spine's in real nice shape. Reuben Lindley had waited 7 years to recapture his runaway bedwench, Emma. 7 years during which his hatred festered and grew into a bitter cry for ultimate vengeance. When Emma finally fell into one of his many traps, as men do and women do, Lindley forced her and her 6-year-old son to watch the hanging of the Choctaw brave who had given the runaway shelter and a family name. That son of a bitch. All right, you get it. Sounds like fun soap opera with a twist. Plantation breed. Provocative title, but it's not. What is it? 1969. 1969. Nice one. Bedwench. Come here, bedwench. It's time to service me. Jesus God. Oh, dear Lord. $3. Come on now. Get your bed wench on. Come on, Ed knows. Ed knows. The bed wench went to bed. Well, maybe. Ed, that's a good one. That's a good one. That is a good one. More than slightly exploitative, especially for 1966. That cover in 1966. No doubt. All right, next. I Am Third by Gale Sayers. Yes, NFL football legend Gale Sayers with Al Silverman. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Introduction by Bill Cosby. All right, just remember the time when this book was written, okay? Just remember. Here, it's not a book about Bill Cosby, okay? I just want to say that. Here is the remarkable bestseller that inspired the TV drama Brian's Song, the story of Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers. All right, it's got not a fucking thing to do with Bill Cosby. I just want that known. Bantam Books. See, it's Gale Sayers. The Lord is first, my friends are second, I am third. There you go. Oh, what do we got here? Hold on. Central Bucks School District, excuse for absence or tardiness. Ooh, too bad my kids graduated. They could use this. And I'm not in Central Bucks though. Wow, look at that. I bet you this was a teacher's book. And they they use those for that is one of the more unique bookmarks that I've got. I'll throw that in there with the book if anybody buys this. All right, book's in great shape. Catch they put an ad for Sports Illustrated in the book. 20 weeks of Sports Illustrated for $3. Oh my God. That tells you what year this was. Book's in nice shape. A little spotty on the inside front cover. The back cover's nice. Bantam edition, April 1972. Wow. No bed wench in this one. There is no bed wench in this one. That would be awkward. $3 start. 10 seconds. Up and running. I Am Third. Now, I thought the book was Brian's Song, but I guess all those Brian Song books I've been seeing over the years are actually the novelization of the movie slash TV series. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. A sports fan will eat that up. Eat it up. Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna have to do a twofer now. We're gonna have to do a twofer. Look what I found. The unforgettable bestseller, the moving story of the hero of Brian's Song, Brian Piccolo, A Short Season. I accept the George S. Hallis Award for Brian Piccolo. It is mine tonight. It is his tomorrow. I love Brian, and I'd like all of you to love him too. Tonight, when you hit your knees, please ask God to love him. The climax of the surprise television movie Brian's Song that captured the hearts, etc., etc., etc. There he is with his family. All right, let's do a twofer. A Short Season and I Am Third. Let's do the two together for 5. 2 for 5. 10 seconds. I didn't realize that second book was there. That's kind of neat. All right, 2 for 5 deal. We got about maybe 8 or 10 more vintage paperbacks, and then we'll hit the Antiquarian books. Some very interesting stuff there. The first 100 proof book ever written, How Sweet It Is, the Jackie Gleason story. 16 pages of photos. A little staining there. Let's take a look at the photos. That's good coffee. Jackie often drank coffee on the air that was 100 proof. Very cool. Him and Bob Hope. Art Carney. Of course, Jackie Gleason being the lead in The Honeymooners is what he's most well known for. Got some more photos here. There is some light spotting and some tanning throughout. How Sweet It Is, the Jackie Gleason story. $2, 10 seconds. Next, all right. Here's another sexploitation cover. You ready? You ready for this one? Don't Hang Me Too High. The complete story, pocketbooks. Steve Silk finds Dames, a corpse, and his own fingerprints on the murder gun. It's not a murder weapon, it's a murder gun. Is there any... Don't Hang Me Too High. You can see the noose is kind of sketched out there. Missing a little edge on the corner there. A little staining around the edges. Let's see what else we got back here. Nice shape otherwise. Just that little staining up here up front. It is the first pocketbook printing, May 1956. There we go. So we'll do 3 on that bad boy. 10 seconds. Up and running. Okay, this next book does have a bed wench. This is a bed wench book. I'm going to have to coin that phrase now. Maybe I can copyright it. John D. MacDonald, creator of the best-selling Travis McGee series. She was a sex kitten with the claws of a tigress. She was Clemmy. All right, first of all, great illustration. Great illustration, right? Second of all, if you're going to name your main character in a sex novel, could you pick one that doesn't sound like a sexually transmitted disease? Yeah, I was going with Sue for a while, but she got Clemmy, and she got the Clemmy. She was young, dangerous, a girl who lived too close to the edge of violence. She hunted trouble. She was an exhibitionist, a body worshipper, a sensualist. She was without morals, scruples, or ethics. She was beautiful. She was... Clemmy! That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense at all. Got a name on the inside cover. Oh my goodness, Clemmy. Sounds like Clemmy the Claptrap. 1958. It's in real nice shape. We got a bed wench. Let's do 5 on this one. It's in nice shape. Yona's in on that one. Nice one. Thank you for that. Great to see you again. Appreciate that very much. All right. Here's another one with a bed wench. No, there's no bed wench in this. Unless Agent 99 is a bed wench, which I don't think she was, really. An original novel about NBC television's hottest, most hilarious super spy, Maxwell Smart. Agent 86 for Control. Quick, let's get into the cone of silence and talk about this one. Could you rerun Pomp and Circumstances again? I most certainly could. All right, so this is a new story, a new novel based on the classic 60s television show Get Smart. I used to watch that when I was a kid. In reruns. Fourth printing, February 1966. It's in real nice shape. Get Smart. We'll do 3 on this one. Bring it back down to 10 seconds. Up and running on Get Smart. Let's grab that Pomp and Circumstance for you. The owner's in on the Get Smart. Appreciate that. We'll do the Pomp and Circumstance. Once again, nice cool wraparound cover. Light tanning flips through real nice. First Dell print, May 1962. Do 3 on that one. Ten seconds. Up and running. Thank you very much. All right. All right, all right. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Just a handful now. The paperbacks left, and then we're going to go to the Antiquarian type books. Oh, this is a bed wench with a whip. Auga. Oh my. All right, let's see what this is. What could this possibly be about? The Strange Woman. The epic novel of a woman's power over men and the wanton evil that drove her to destroy them. There you go. In a world where men dominated, she was the one who kept them on their knees. Literally. 7 men knew the truth about Jenny Hager. The lieutenant, her father, the merchant, her stepson. Oh, there's stepson action in here. Wait a minute. The lumberman, the deacon, her son. What? All right, hold on. Hold on now. It's in nice shape. Flips good. Some light tanning. Oh, we do have a name and address in here. And let's get to that inside page. Goodness. Ooh, originally 1941. This is the Pyramid Edition, April 1965. 1941 story. Hold on, let me get my power reconnected here before we lose juice. There we go. All right, what are we doing on this one? Let's do the $5 on this one. It's in nice shape. Bed wench with a whip. Ed says, yes, please. Thank you. May I have another? Natural Gems and Jewelry. Great to see you. Destiny's Child. Welcome. Ed's in for the win. Find all kinds of crazy stuff with books, man. All kinds of fun stuff. Let's see. Where was that other Louis L'Amour? Here's a Louis L'Amour. West of Dodge. Book looks brand new. Looks brand new. Here, let's see if I could do a nice big Western bundle for you. It's a nice one. Just a little tanning on the inside covers, but all the page, I never understand how that works. The pages are fine, but those inside covers, it's weird like that. All right, there's one Louis L'Amour. Here's a second Louis L'Amour. All right. Showdown at Yellow Butte. We did this one earlier. But wait, watch this. Watch what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do. Give me a sec. Here it comes. Check this out. One of the biggest names in Western writing is Zane Grey. Right? Louis L'Amour and Zane Grey. Those are the guys. Here is a 3-book mega book. Check this out. We'll do a monster western here. Let's see. Zane Grey, To the Last Man, The Mysterious Rider, and The Lone Stranger. From 1921, 1915. Obviously, this is a modern reprint. Don't see the date there. I think it was from the 80s, 90s. It's modern, obviously. Nope, no date on it. That's all right. So anyway, the big monster Zane Grey and 2 Louis L'Amours. Let me just change the weight on this one. And let's go 3 bucks, $8. $8, not 58. Change the number, Chris. $8, 15 seconds. See if we got any love for the Westerns. They look great on a shelf in a bookstore. Just saying. All right. Hey, Yoni, you can't blame me for trying. It's a brand new book. Looks great. All right. The United States Secret Service. Walter Bowen and Harry Edward Neal. Forward by E.U. Bowman, Chief of the U.S. Secret Service. I had another book like this that I actually sold at the last show. It was about the FBI. And it was kind of like a story about the FBI, and yeah, pretty neat. Third printing, May 1960. Popular Library Edition, July 1961. I have too many L'Amour as it is. U.S. Secret Service. Very nice. Nice copy. Nice copy. Paul, thanks for coming on in. All right, let's run this one about the Secret Service. We'll do $3, 10 seconds. Up and running. Last few seconds on the U.S. Secret Service. I guess it's not that much of a secret if you write a book about it, right? How big a secret could it be? All right, I think we'll wrap up this part of the paperbacks with this one. Just kind of a fun old Scholastic ex-library. It's got your protective tape over it. Some real nice shape. This one is called Birdie Comes Through. Scholastic Books, Woodbridge Junior High School in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Ooh. Copyright 1947. This is the 6th printing, January 1969. There you go. Little light staining around here, but it doesn't bleed through a little bit. Stops after about page 20. Birdie comes through. $1. All right, let's see here. Yona, if you have a stack of westerns that are lesser known authors from the 50s, I'd be interested, but I'm maxed out on Lamore, Cotton, Compton, and Gray. Okay. I actually might have some like that. It would be a small stack. It's the, if you're interested, I'll dig them out. I just had them at the Allentown Paper Show with me. There's some of the old Western magazines from like the 20s, the 30s. So there's a whole bunch of different authors in there and a whole bunch of different stories. And yeah, every once in a while you see one is, one of the big names. But yeah, let me write that down. I can bring them. I can either bring them next time or snap a couple pictures. You're looking for mass? No, you're looking for mass market single author. All right, never mind then. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, I will keep my eyes open. All right. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for asking. Thanks for letting me know. All right. 2-book set. 2-book vintage set of O. Henry. O. Henry. Look at that. Bright yellow. Is that a dog-eared page? I think there was one dog-eared page I just saw on the bottom there. All right, here it is. Let's fix that. Okay. What we have here, 2-volume set. This is, let's see, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all the 1900s. All rights reserved. Nice. The Complete Works of O. Henry, Volume 1. Doubleday. The Complete Works of O. Henry, Volume 2. They still make you read O. Henry in school. At least in our school district. Do. Printed in the USA by Haddon Craftsman, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Nice. All right. Nice 2-volume complete set. That's a little bit over £1. 10 seconds, $10. 2 for 10. $5 a book. Do. 2 for 8. 10 seconds. All right, we tried. It's okay. Volume 2. Volume 1. Oh, Henry. All right. The Far Lands by James Norman Hall. Atlantic. James Norman Hall served in the Lafayette Flying Corps during World War I and there met Charles Nordhoff. At the conclusion of the war, each found himself in a decided aversion to returning to the falsities and conventionalities of normal civilized life. They decided then to continue their life and friendship in Tahiti and set out in January 1920. The alliance was a productive one, and Mutiny on the Bounty, Men Against the Sea, and Pitcairn's Island were a few of the results. The simplicity of life on such islands appeals to one's deepest instincts, At least it does to mine, wrote Hal. He was married in 1925 to Sarah Winchester, a half-Tahitian daughter of a British sea captain, and has written many books of his own, among them Dr. Dogbody's Leg, Lost Island, and The Far Lands. This book, however, is more nearly related to those stories written in collaboration with Nordhoff than to any of Hall's other books. Wow, that's a hell of a story. The Far Land. Wow, this book club edition. What year is this? This thing's in great shape. 1950. Wow. Let's check it out. The dust cover. Dust cover is amazing. Wow. All right. I like it. I dig it. The Far Lands. I like the interest. That's an interesting tie-in too. With let me change the weight back to a little bit lower. I do $5, 10 seconds. Up and running. That's a fascinating story. All right. There's the Far Lands. All right, I'm going to guess this is 1956. I'm going to take a wild guess. The Friendship Book of Francis Gay. With the dust cover. Oh, we got notes. Hold on. It is clipped. To Dear Mary, with fond love from Helen. Oh, we're going to have to read that. We're going to have to read that. The Friendship Book. So it goes date by date, every day of the month. There's little stories about friendship in there. It's got photos. Very cool. What year is this? A thought for each day in 1956. Like we said. So every day of the year of 1956 is documented here with a little story, a little anecdote about friendship. Now, let's get to the good stuff here. Hold on. Hold on. Ooh. Tuesday, November 15th. My dear Mary, I thought you might like this little book. I have 2 or 3 of them for previous years and often look the dates up and find something which usually fits my need at the moment. I'll be sending you airmail, and you should get it before you receive this. My dear love to you, now and always, affectionately, from Helen. How about that? I'm going to keep that in there. And there's Mary and Helen, the same people in the note. Nice. $5, 10 seconds. Nice little kind of inspirational book. I like it's got the letter in it. That's pretty cool too. Very nice. All right, we're going to put you over here. So, once again, let's look up a little bit here. These are all the books we've gone through that have not sold. If you see anything there you're interested in or you want me to run again, just let me know. Let me just do a quick check, see if anybody threw any pre-bids down there. No, that's okay. If obviously there are books in the store. Those are all available to me, so they're right here. So if you want to see anything that's in the store or check it out or pre-bid, everything's right here. All right, next. The Distant Shore, a novel. Jan de Hartog. It's got the nice cover on it. Book Club edition. Clip's real nice. The skipper knew he loved two women. Oh no, more bedwench. Two bedwenches. He loved two women. One he almost destroyed, and the other he married. The third and most dangerous love of his life was the sea, whose surface he sailed and whose depths he explored in fantastic diving expeditions. It began during the war, when the skipper, an easygoing young man with a broad sense of humor, took command of an ancient British seagoing tug and sailed off to battle. U-boats in the storms of the North Atlantic. He was in the famous rescue fleet which salvaged damaged vessels abandoned by their convoys. There you go. Nice. The Distant Shore, a novel. Teach Bug, what's up? Do 3 on this one. Up and running. 10 seconds. Last few seconds. Alright, there's The Distant Shore. Young Beth by Margaret Irwin. This book, like all books, is a symbol of the liberty and the freedom for which we fight. You, as the reader of books, can do your share in the desperate battle to protect those liberties. Buy war bonds. Book Club Edition. When Queen Bess was a child, she was a possible but not likely heir to the English throne. For Henry VIII's passion for her mother, Anne Boleyn, had ended with his executing her and bastardizing their daughter. He dominates the scene, and young Bess regards him with mingled horror and fascination. 3 stepmothers have been rapidly disposed of, but the 4th, Catherine Parr, manages to outlive Henry and marries Bess's step-uncle, Tom Seymour, whose eldest brother becomes Lord Protector to the boy, King Edward VI. Wow. All right, young Bess. There you go. Do this one $3. It's in real nice shape. $3, 10 seconds. All right, thanks for that. Next. Go back to paperbacks for a minute. I forgot to show this one earlier. This is a really clean copy of A Short History of the Civil War. It's a Cardinal 35 center pocketbook. Check out the spine on this thing. Clean. Bright white innards. Just off-white pages. Maps. Diagrams. Very nice. Very nice. 9th printing, June 1963. First printing was 1951. Alright. A Short History of the Civil War. I'm going to go $3 for the next 10 seconds, my friends. KT Mac, welcome. Thanks for stopping on in. Appreciate it. I'm Chris. It's the Cool and Common Stream, a little Wednesday night antiquarian and vintage book show. All right, somebody's gonna buy this book. Somebody's gonna buy this book. Check this out. Little Tony of Italy by Madeline Brandeis, or Brandeis. I did a little research on this. Kind of neat. She had a series of books about children in different countries. And this one's about Little Tony of Italy. But it's unique because, I'll show you why in a sec. Happy Birthday, Dale, from Marion, 1941. It's unique because instead of cartoon illustrations or drawings like you see here, she used actual photos from the countries that she wrote about. So it's Little Tony of Italy, Grosset and Dunlap. I think this one was, I think it was 1948, was it? Let me see. Photographic illustrations. I was wrong. Copyright 1934 by A. Flanagan Company. 1934, printed in the U.S. Check it out. Little Tony of Italy. Tony and Tina's wedding. There's Tony, there's Tina. Little Tony, Chapter 1. So you can see it's got big text. It's written for kids, but I was reading through it a little bit. It's kind of interesting. Tells you all about the history of the country and the people, and it's got these amazing photos in it. It's really cool. All right, post World War One, pre World War II, Little Tony of Italy. $5, 10 seconds. All right, Little Tony is gonna sit right there. All right, now here's another cool one. What year was this one? Let me see here. This is the one from 1948. Okay, here we go. Bam! Robert Louis Stevenson, Kidnapped. Illustrated by Lynn Ward. Illustrated Junior Library Edition. Check out the back here. This is from 1948. Look at that spine. Boy, that would look great sitting on the shelf in a bookstore. It's got a beautiful wraparound cover. It's got the original plastic cover too. You know how I know that? Watch this. Because the title Kidnapped, Robert Louis Stevenson illustrate is on the film. How cool is that? It is, check out the ooh, sweet. Still bright red. The trim is great. Edge coloring. It's in great shape, and look at these illustrations. They literally pop off the page, the color ones. There's, the black and white stuff, but then you hit the color illustrations, and it's like, wow. Whoa, was that a raid? Was that a raid? Or did 17 people just magically show up all at the same time? All right. Running Kidnapped. It is a raid. Woohoo! Nice. Aw, sweet. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Hey, everybody. Welcome. My name is Chris. It's the Cool and Calm Stream, doing a little Wednesday night book show. This week, it is vintage and antiquarian books, my friends. Every Wednesday night, I do a book show. This week, it happens to be vintage and antiquarian. Other book shows I do on a Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, are mystery, sci-fi, fantasy, adult topics, kids books, all kinds of fun stuff. So, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Clay. Appreciate you. Many thanks. All right, let's run. We're just getting ready to run Kidnapped here. 1948 copy, super clean. We got the edges dyed, foredge, top edge, bottom edge, every edge. We got them all covered. Let's run it. I keep the weight a little lighter. Let's run it. Yona's in on that one. Yeah, that's a nice one. Thank you so much. right. Next, it's a big boy. It's the big boy. All right. Just like we had a summary of Western stories over there, here's a summary of some great Hebrew literature. Favorite tales of Shalom Aleichem. 55 short stories and sketches from the Old Country, including the wonderful tale of Tevye and his daughters that later became Fiddler on the Roof. Run Tony again, please. Sure, I'd be happy to. Let's do that. Little Tony of Italy. Up and running. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Shelf to screen. Thank you so much. All right, Yona's in there. All right, let's take a little closer look. Illustrated by Ben Sham. Little wraparound cover. Nice one. Avenel Books. It's a big boy. It is a big boy. Pages are nice and bright. Sparsely illustrated. Phew, wow, look at this. All right. 1983 copy. Looks like first copy, 1983. Compilation of a whole bunch of stories. Okay. Here we go. Let's get the proper weight here. And 10 seconds. It's a big boy. Lots of content. Great shape. $5. I do use flat rate shipping even on my media shows like this. Because once you get above that £1 mark, you get to ship everything flat rate. So you won't pay any more than $9.20 or so before you're into the zero shipping zone, right? So you're maxed out there. Always a good deal, especially with the big books. The big books. I'm going to do 3 big books, and I mean physically big. I'm going to back up a little bit. Now, some people love these, some people don't love them. I'm just going to do 3. 3 books that recently came into my possession. Number 1, Yellowstone, A Century of the Wilderness Idea. Whoa, sorry. It's so big it's knocking stuff over. Here we go. Yellowstone, A Century of Wilderness Idea. In here you got everything you could think about for Yellowstone National Park. It is at the bottom. Well, we'll take a look. Looks like there is some taping that's been done on the dust jacket. Dust jacket is there and intact. It's huge. Great coffee table book. Check out the bison there. Grizzly country. Rivers and lakes. Roaring basins. Really nice. Let's get this back here. And then on the back, there's a little tape on the bottom here. And like we saw, a little tape on the insides. Yellowstone, A Century of the Wilderness Idea. All right. I know it's heavy, so it's got to go at the heavier weight. But I'm going to start it for $3. 10 seconds. $3. All right, I know you love this book, but the shipping is high. How about $1? $1. Take care of your shipping. $1. All right, I know these big books are an acquired taste. Let's check out another couple real quick. All right. This one comes with its own slipcase. This is Life's Picture History of World War II. Whew. All right, so there's your slipcase. Here's the book. Looks like we got a little news article about a soldier receiving a Bronze Star. Amazing photos throughout. Look at that. Aerial photos of bomb damage. War at sea. War in the Atlantic. All Life magazine photos. Amazing. Congress. Invasion of Russia. Dunkirk. Europe. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy good. With the slipcase. All right. There it is. It's another big boy. Let's go 5 on this one, just for all the photos. Gorgoyle, good to see you, buddy. Raven, welcome. Court Keg. Thanks to everybody who stopped on in tonight. You've been hanging out since the raid. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. There's Life. All right. Last of the big boys, and then we'll hit some antiquarians. We'll finish up with a couple of the antiquarians and see where we go from there. The National Geographic Atlas of the World. Atlas of the World. It's the whole world in a book. All right. I'm not going to flip through every page. But you know, some people love atlases. Some people like to display them. Some people like to see the history. Where were the lines drawn? Blah, blah, blah. There's Indonesia. There's Japan and Korea. Australia, New Zealand, Antarctica. And then here's all the info in the back. If you're looking for it, it's in there. And your page reference, right? So you got your appendices and all your maps. All right. It's a big boy. TK, what's up? Another one, 10 seconds. $5. National Geographic Atlas of the World. All right, thanks for looking at those. I appreciate it. You never know. All right, let's take a look at some of these now. All right, now we're getting into the super vintagey antiquarian, so to speak. This is actually a music book. All right, the Master Book. Rudimentary exercises, Let's move back to the front pages here. Elementary principles of music. All right, there is a little separation. There is some tearing. I did look before. All the pages do appear to be there. Very neat. The Lord is good. You stole my love. Fairy song. I know a bank. Strawberries. Nights of music. Come to the mountain. Homeland. Dropping down. And exercises. Scales and the like. Emmy, hey, how you doing? Let's come down here. We do $2 on this one. You can see the condition, but it is kind of neat. I know there are people that collect just the music stuff. Okay, put this one gently back here. All right, Lord Lytton's works, the Parisians. All right, we got some tearing on the spine externally here. A little separation here. The Cathedral Lyceum Library. The Parisians and Godolphin by Edward Bulwer Lytton. Lord Lytton. Oh, there's another bookmark. Let's see, is this a library book? Yeah, there is a card. Let's put that back in there. Go back in there. So, and it flips through. Nice. Wish I could find the year on it here. Let's see. Just try to get the year for you. The Cathedral Lyceum Library, 5th Avenue, Pittsburgh. Complete works in 13 volumes. Oh, there you go. There's 2 of them. Does it say what volume number this is? It does not. All right. Let's go with that. Okay, 10 seconds. 5 on the Lord Lytton. Okay. Up next. Let's see. This one is The Abbot. Okay, we'll just try to find the year on this one first. Some of these just don't. Nice. Nice book plate. Okay, Waverly Novels, Illustrated Library Edition of The Abbot. That's nice. Looks through fine. And this is volume 1. Again, no year on the inside. It does have the book plate here. Little tear here. Little tear here up front. Illustrated Library Edition. A few book plates throughout. With the paper, let's get a picture. Let's get a look at this guy right here. There we go. All right. The Abbott. $3 on that one. 10 seconds. Let's put this back here, actually. Adirondack Tales, W.H.H. Murray. The story the keg told me. The man who didn't know much. Humorous sketches. Adirondack Tales. Alex from JJ Teacher. Can't quite read that. We're looking at copyright H.H. Murray, 1877. Oh, look at the dedication, in memoriam. That was very hard to do back in the day. To get the typesetting like that. That's pretty neat. A little in memoriam. It opened its diminutive mouth and began to talk. What is that, a jug of rum? Dude's hallucinating. The moonshine is talking to him. In the Adirondacks, I guess. Alright, there's the stories. The story that the keg told me. The man that didn't know much. The story that the keg told me. That's pretty funny. Alright. Adirondack Tales. W.H.H. Murray. $5. 10 seconds. Ed's in on that one. Thank you, Ed. That's a nice one. Another nice win. Alright. This one is a non-fiction book. Surveying and Mapping. Answers to Questions. Some of these old technical things, engineering books like this, I know can be stupid money for some of them. Not all of them, but some of them certainly. International Correspondence School, Scranton, PA, Answers to Questions. Copyright 1897-1898 by the Collierly Engineering Company. Burke Printing House, New York. Wow. All right. So it's got answers, questions and answers. Ooh, you could cheat on your test by getting the question and answer book. All right. Surveying it is. Survey says $5 for 10 seconds. There we go. Very nice. Thank you, Yama. All right. Nice one. All right. Well, if you like that one, you're going to love this one. The Complementary Surveying and Mapping Book. Mathematics, Surveying, and Mapping. How to open a new book. Wow. Wow. Hold the book with its back on a smooth or covered table. Let the front board down, then the other, holding the leaves in one hand while you open a few leaves at the back. That, really? How to open a new book? I guess without destroying it? I've never seen that before. That's the company, International Textbook of Scranton, PA. Wow. All right, so this is the textbook that you just bought the answer key for. No obligation, of course. I'm just saying. Yeah, here's the questions. Here's the math questions. Exam questions. These are the exam questions, and that other book is the answer book to the questions in this book. There's another one, how to open a new textbook. There's a couple of them in there. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. You've seen those, Ed? Yeah? Interesting. All right, I am going to change the weight, which shouldn't matter for you because you're over a pound if you want it. But if somebody else wants it, I got to make sure I get the correct weight there. And just put another $5 on it. 10 seconds. Ed's in on that one. All right, Ed. Are you going to try to sell that to Yona now? Is that what that was about? Or are you going to try to buy the answer key from Yona? All right. Hey, whatever side deal you two want to make, that's okay. I'm happy. It's all right. All right. Wish the spine was a little bit nicer on this. Acts of the Apostles, Reverend Dr. Cloak, Volume 2. Got some nice embossing on the front cover and the rear. Spine, a little sketchy. All right, let's try to get a year on this one. I'm assuming it's in the 1800 time frame. This is volume 2. I'll take a little closer look, see if I got volume 1 as well. Sunday School Editor's Reference Library. Acts of the Apostles, printed by Murray and Gibb. No year there. Yeah, here we go. 1850, 1850, 1870? How's my Greek numbers? Is that 1870? Yeah. 50, 60, 70. Acts of the Apostles, a critical and existential commentary. The missionary labors of the Apostle Paul, Paul's second missionary journey. And yes, the page just popped out. There's the rest of the contents. All right, let's give it a flip. See if anything else pops out. No, it's actually pretty good. Just that up front part and the spine there. So, all right, let's do it. Let's do it to it. I meant to do 10 seconds. Sorry. $5 start. Up and running. All right. Thanks for checking that one out. All right. Whew. Interesting. All All right, hold on. Let me get a year on this one. Let me get a year if I can. William Tibley, Buffalo, Erie, New York. Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, I can't do this one at $5. Wow. All right. The Library of Wit and Humor by Mark Twain and others. All right. First of all, copyright 1898. 1898 illustrated. Samuel Langhorne Clemens. All right. Spine readable. Tear along here. All right. So you can see it. Repairable. So that kind of carries through. Pages. We do have illustrations. It's a little chippy on the first few pages here. A little chippy. This first cover page is loose. I think it is separated. Yeah. But it is present. Wow. I don't think I've ever had that old of a Mark Twain book. $10. 10 seconds. Up and running. 1898. $8. 10 seconds. All right. Yeah, that's a cool one. I like finding that. So that's Mark Twain. I think I've still got some old H.G. Wells too somewhere. The Spectator. All right. Only a few left now. This is The Spectator, Volume 5. Looks like X-Library. Looks like somebody glued the spine. Hence the drip that I see there. The Kenneseth Israel Free Library, donated in memory of Edwin M. Goldsmith by his children, April 1945. Philadelphia, PA Free Library. There's your library card. Let's see, anybody famous take this out? I can't tell. It feels like it's glued in there. I don't want to rip it. All right. $412, $407. So these go by dates, yeah? Blah, blah, blah. So this is a history of letters. The Spectator, Monday, June 16th, 1712. The following letters bear a pleasing image of the joys and satisfaction of a private life. The first is from a gentleman to a friend for whom he has a very great respect, to whom he communicates the satisfaction he takes in retirement. Ha ha! Someday. The other is a letter to me occasioned by an ode written by my Lapland lover. Whoa, a Lapland another bedwench. All right. Letters and dates. Looks like the 1700s. Compilation of letters. Saturday, August 2nd, 1712. Crazy. Crazy. The lap wench. Another lap wench, yes. All right, again, it's a heavier book. Interesting. $5. Oh, which H.G. Wells you're asking? Ed, I forget which H.G. Wells it is. Let me see if it's in. I forget if it's in here or the Sci-Fi Show. Now that I think about it, I think I might have actually sold it. I might have sold it. All right. Ooh. 1850. This thing is ripped up. David Copperfield. Really? Huh. All right. This I gotta look up. I don't believe this. That's an 1850 copy of David Copperfield. What? What? Let me see. It is a little, it's more than a little ripped up. But it looks like it's all here. The spine is shot. God, look at the originals. Jeez. Wow. All right. Yeah, I'd have to do a little research. I don't even know if I want to run it unless anybody is really interested in it. Let's see. Original David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. First edition, 1850. Sold for $4,200. All right. This does not look like what I'm looking at online right now, so I question whether this is. It might not be a first edition. Could be a different edition. This one bears some research. Interesting. Interesting. All right. That one we got to take a look at. It's crazy to look at that kind of stuff. Like if that really was like a, let's say that was a first or second printing of it, even chopped up like that in pieces, it could still be worth some stupid money. All right, this is the Handbook of Testing Materials by Martins. Probably from the same people that wrote the book about surveying. Part 1 with illustrations. This book is heavy. You know, these old books where they put clay in the paper. Wow, this thing is like a... Yeah, this is another cool one. Look at all the engineering diagrams in here. That is cool. See, now in my day job, I'm an engineer, so I find that stuff fascinating. Again, what was this, 1809 or 1899? 1899. 1899. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Is that a photograph? No. An engraving. Wow, how cool is this? All right. Wow, there's all kinds of crazy pull-out. Oh, no. What is this? Somebody's notes? or bookmark. Just index cards from the 1800s. How about that? Crazy. All right. If anybody's interested in this one, I love the diagrams. It is a heavy ass book. I'll put 10 on it. Up and running. Last few seconds. All right. Thanks for that. What is this one? That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna just show two books that I need to research. But if you like antiquarian books like I do, and some of this stuff fascinates you, just take a quick look at these. All right, hard to read to start, but check this out. Lossings, United States. There's George Washington. There's Liberty. Okay. Lossing's New History of the United States from the earliest discoveries to the present time, not president. From the earliest discovery to the present time, illustrated. The spine's not in half bad shape. All right, super brittle. Got to be so careful with it. 3 pages of blanks. Give me a year. I'm sure we could look this up. Anybody want to do some research? There's the book plate. Lossing's New History of the United States from the discovery of the American continent to the present time. What's the present time? For all readers, Benson J. Lossing, LLD, blah, 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 containing valuable supplementary matter and illustrated with over 400 choice engravings on steel and wood, together with state, national, naval, and military flags of the United States in rich color, published in German and English. Gay Brothers and Company Publishers, Barclay Street, New York. Copyright 1875, 1881, and 1884 by Benson J. Lossing. Wow. All right, so assume this is an 1884 copy. Wow. So there's some pages loose from the spine, but just take a look at this. See if we can get some of the engravings. What is that? Massachusetts, Virginia. Okay, so each state has its own. Oglethorpe's first interview with the Indian. Crazy. Quakers, New Jersey, Rhode Island, all the states. So for every state, they've got a. That's insane. That is insane. That's got to be a little something, right? Come on. All right, here's another one that I got to do some research, but it's fascinating. If you know about it, feel free to share in the chat. Josephus, complete, Hearst and Company. I did do a little quick research on this, and again, some of the prices on some of these. This says something W. Smith, December 25th, 1884. So maybe a Christmas, but this is like, it's about Jewish history and the works of Flavius Josephus, 20 books of the Jewish antiquities, 7 books of the Jewish war, the life of Josephus, written by himself, translated from the original Greek in 2 volumes. This is volume 1. I just did a little research on this, and again, depending on what it is, I saw a few that looked kind of like this. The early first ones are like thousands of dollars. Now, I don't think that's what I have here, but wow. All right, and then last, this, Jesus, this I would sell. It's not in the best shape, but again, Cassell's History of England. All right, Cassell's History of England, volumes 8 through 7. Volumes 6 and 5. I'm gonna do it. Watch this. Volumes 4 through 3. Volumes 1 and 2. So that is Cassell's History of England, volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So again, they're all in a similar kind of condition, which is not great. But for these books, it doesn't matter that much. It's crazy. Cassell's History from the Roman invasion to the War of the Roses. Cassell and Company Limited. It's insane. Here, this is separated, but I mean, look at the book plates in here. It's redonkulous. So I'm not really sure what I got here. It could be trash. It could be $1,000. It could be $50. I'm not sure. But I'm going to do a little bit of research. I think maybe if I can do some research before the next Antiquarian book show, maybe we'll bring it back and see what we found. But there you go. Very cool. Well, my friends, it is late, and that's all the new books I got. So let's see if we can pay it forward to another book show. I really appreciate everybody who came in and watched today. Thank you so much. Ed, thank you so much for your purchases. Yona, thank you as well. Much appreciated, as always. See if there's somebody else we can raid. Anybody else doing cool stuff like this? Fiction, vintage, nonfiction. Yeah, I've rated Alpine Studios. They're usually on Late Like Me like this. Book and Art Show. Reading Railroad. Towny Town. Mystery Vintage Thrillers. Yeah, let's go to Alpine. Alright, guys. Let's jump in. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Until next time, my friends. Keep it cool. Keep it common. Keep it collected. And make sure you throw down a few bookmarks on my shows. I always appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Catch you later.